With your AccuWeather forecast, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
From local sports to national newsmakers,
this is the show everybody is talking about.
Live from the Granite State,
it's Mike and the Hoss
on the Pulse of New Hampshire.
Good morning and welcome to the Mike and the Hoss Show, powered by the Yum Yum Shop on the Pulse of New Hampshire. I'm Mike Dene, and alongside Charlie Hossack, we are Mike and the Hoss. Gentlemen, how we doing? Dog back in studio.
Yeah, good morning.
Red Sox clinched. Here we go. Nobody saw it. That's okay.
What a night. What a night. And Dog is still feeling it. Dog, how you feeling about your Guardians?
Wait a minute.
Good,
let's the Guardians.
The Astros can lose so I'm feeling fantastic. And by the way, unlike last night, this game's on national TV, whereas Red Sox, Tigers, unless you had the Apple TV, couldn't watch.
The Red Sox clinched for the first time in 4 years, and you go right to the Guardians to check on the temperature of Dog.
Listen,
can we at least enjoy the moment for our hometown team that are going to be on the Pulse of New Hampshire today, pregame at 3:10, first pitch 4:10?
Yep.
Can we just enjoy that instead of going to the Guardians? We can talk about the Guardians in a second. Let's savor the moment. The Red Sox are in the playoffs. They had a walk-off last night to get in the playoffs and a comeback win. It was a great night in Boston.
It was.
But no, let's talk about the Guardians.
Listen, I like to reach out to our friends. Friends are important, and it's important. I like that Dog likes a different team, and that's great. And I want to be able to support him, and I want him to feel like he's getting a virtual hug from me. Now, that being said, yes, I got a chance to watch it because we have Apple TV, which was very exciting. I am pumped. I told you off air. I'm actually heading down to Fenway tomorrow. I can't wait. The atmosphere is just going to be amazing. Last game of the regular season. The Sox are in first time since 2021, and it's great. It's great. I was kind of reflecting on things we've said in the past on this show, and we've talked about is it a good thing because the Red Sox haven't invested, in the team. Yes, I'm saying right now it is a good thing. It feels good to be in the playoffs as a Red Sox fan.
Well, I would say that they didn't. One of the reasons why they're in is because of two guys that they did invest in. They invested in Garrett Crochet, bigly. They went after Alex Bregman. They did invest in Alex Bregman. They, signed pretty team-friendly and player-friendly extensions on the young players between Roman Anthony and Rafaela. These guys are signed. Bayo's signed. Yeah. So there is a lot of positives in terms of the investment, and they're getting results from those investments. These guys, if they didn't have Garrett Crochet, they're not clinching last night.
They didn't have Chapman. Chapman's having his best season ever.
There's another one.
That's amazing. Trevor Story's healthy and playing exceptionally well. So all these pieces are kind of falling into place. And you go back to what the MLB said. Before we started this season, we were talking. The MLB and all the experts were saying Boston Red Sox actually have an opportunity to win the World Series, and we're like, come on, give me a break. Are they even going to make the playoffs? And here they are.
It's not just
they have an opportunity still.
It's not just that, Charlie. The future of the Sox. They have a rotation: Crochet, Bayo, Giolito, Dobbins, Tolley, Early. They have a bullpen in Whitlock and Chapman that are going to be back next year. They have an infield: Marcelo Mayer, Alex Bregman, Trevor Story. An outfield that is probably top three in the league, all of Major League Baseball, between Roman Anthony, Jarren Duran, Ceddanne Rafaela, and Wilyer Abreu.
Yeah.
They need a second baseman, they need a first baseman, and potentially a catcher.
Yep, right.
That's not a lot of holes to fill. And now you're getting a team that has playoff experience. They're going to get these. I'd like to see Anthony be able to play at some point, but I think the future is pretty bright for the Red Sox at this point.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. It's exciting. And how about the excitement for just Major League Baseball? I mean, we're going into the final two games of the season. And it matters for a lot of teams, a lot of playoff implications. It's just, it's exciting. It's exciting right now to be a baseball fan, and I can't wait. I can't wait. We get Saturday and Sunday, and my eyes are going to be glued. And I'm going to say this: my eyes are going to be glued to Major League Baseball, probably more than NFL football.
I want to see Cleveland. No offense, Doc. Cleveland lose tonight. Detroit lose tonight and Houston win. I want that 3 teams to be all tied for the last 2 spots going into tomorrow and have that kind of a day. Scoreboard watching and all those kind of things. Dog, you don't want that. I understand that. I apologize. But I think that could be a lot of fun to have 3 teams tied at the bottom going into the last day. And you're going to be there, and you're going to most likely see Scooble tomorrow. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
It is absolutely.
All right.
And Ken, before we get started, I just want to mention one thing. I'm not going to go into great detail, and I know we've talked about this off there. Last Sunday, I was at my first ever NASCAR race, thanks to my buddy Ray, who was on the show last week. I had an absolute amazing time. All the visiting the pits, seeing drivers, interacting with the pit crews. Not only the Canadian, but of course the USA baby, our national anthem, and having the flyover. I never felt more American than at that moment. And I just wanted to say, 2 laps into the actual race, when they say, gentlemen, start your engines, and they fire it up, and the place roars, and I'm just excited, and the race begins, and I was pumped. 2 laps into the race, I turned into Mike Dene. I was like, oh my gosh. What's next? Other than being loud, they're just going to go in circles. And about 3 laps in, I was ready to go home. But everything prior to that was the best experience.
Yeah, from the infield, and I know you can't see me unless you're watching Facebook. It's this.
Yeah, but it was like if you get to the start of the race, I mean, even you would be jazzed, Mike. Someone who's not a NASCAR fan, I think you'd be pumped up. And then the race begins, and it's like whatever. The cool part, I mean, seeing a couple of the pit stops, that was awesome. The guys out there getting the tires off, and I think I told this off air, Mike. The people that work the pit crew, when you walk through the pits, they look like NFL players. They're 6'5", they're massive. And these are ultimate athletes. They're recruited from D1 colleges. They're guys that didn't make it to the NFL or maybe even the NBA. They're just incredible athletes, super friendly. But
you say they're recruited?
They big. Yeah. Actually, my buddy Ray was talking about that. They actually have, and NASCAR has, a program where they will go and actually recruit athletes from Division I schools that are not going to be going on to the next level, and then they're able to train them, because I thought there's a NASCAR school to learn how to be in the pit crew, and what they're looking for is athletes. And I'm telling you, Mike, these guys had muscles like on top of muscles. These guys were just studs, so it's pretty cool.
All right, I'm glad you had a good time.
Yeah, thank you, and thank you, Ray.
And happy birthday, by the way, Charlie. You had a birthday a couple days ago, so
Yes, thank you.
happy birthday to you. Mike and the Hoss is powered by the Yum Yum Shop, located in the heart of downtown Wolfboro. Can be found on the Pulse of New Hampshire radio stations all over the world on the Pulse of New Hampshire app. You can always catch up and listen to our previous shows on the Pulse Podcast Network, Spreaker, Audible, Amazon Music, or wherever you get your podcasts. The Yum Yum Shop has over 100 varieties of fresh baked goods, including 6 different types of bread, and a full-service ice cream bar, and of course, their most famous item, the gingerbread cookie. Make sure to visit the Yum Yum Shop the next time you're in Wolfboro or online at yumyumshop.com. And while you're there, enter the discount code of Mike and the Hoss receive 20% off the Gingy Box. You can join the conversation 603-228-2080. That is 603-228-2080. All right. Opening takes brought to you by the Back Bay Boathouse.
Delicious food and drinks right next to the lake. Don't forget to order the $5 Mike and the Hoss penalty box during happy hour, Monday through Friday from 3 to 5 p.m.
We don't have a lot of time because we obviously talked about the Red Sox. Can I just do mine real quick, Charlie?
No, take your time. I want to hear about how much you like, or should I say love, Jake Paul.
No, that's not it. I'm so done with this. I wrote a bad word on our on our notes. I'm not going to read the bad word because I'm so sick of the friggin' Jake Paul show that seems to creep up every 4 months or so, that he needs to get more notoriety or whatever you want to call it for his social media fans, and fights these contrived fights of past champions, ex-champions. God, you know what I mean? This whole thing, the whole Jake Paul thing is, I'm so sick of it. He doesn't fight the elite boxers. He fights a Mike Tyson who's 55 years old or whatever he was, 57 and 58. And And I'm convinced that Tyson fight was fixed because it's pretty clear that Tyson had an opening to take him out with one punch, and he didn't take it. So these things are probably fixed. People are paying these pay-per-view. Oh, this is going to be on Netflix. This next one, he's fighting against Tank Davis, who's going to fight 60 pounds above his weight class.
Yeah,
60 pounds. It's just, but we keep watching it. We keep turning it on, and we just keep feeding the beast. And this is just generally the social media phenomenon anyway, that we keep feeding the beast. And Jake Paul is, for a celebrity, I guess if you'd call him a celebrity, he's a pretty good boxer. Yeah. But fight other celebrities. Do that thing. Stop trying to sell yourself as a real boxer by fighting these ex-boxers or guys that have to fight 60 pounds above their weight class, right. Or a 58-year-old retired champion. Stop doing that. If you want to be a fighter, then actually fight somebody in your weight class at your age who's a professional fighter, and let's see what happens. Yes, but that doesn't happen. He's using his celebrity as a freeway to these bigger fights and the publicity fights. And it's just so frustrating, and that seems to be happening every 3 or 4 months. And I'm done.
And if you look at Tank Davis, he's no dummy. He's like, I'm going to make a ton of money by doing this, even though I have to, obviously have a 60-pound difference in weight. Plus, the other things that they put in there, the different weight in the gloves and things. They're going to be having heavier gloves, and it might be a 3-round fight. But yeah, it's kind of all for show. And Dog's a huge wrestling fan, and so am I. But this is kind of going down the lines of the WWE, where kind of the storylines are there. I think they've already determined who's going to win this.
100%. Yep. 100%.
And you're right. It's not for me. It's not entertaining. I was so excited to watch the Mike Tyson fight because for some reason I thought Mike Tyson was just going to go in there and knock him out, but that clearly was not the storyline.
And you're right. There's a storyline there. The results are already determined, and so stop selling this. Start selling it like you do the WWE. Yeah. Start selling it like that. Stop selling these things like they're real boxing matches and you're really fighting for a championship, because it's insulting to the fan base. It's insulting to the real boxing world, and I'm done with it. And I'm not going to use the bad word that I put in our notes.
Not using that.
All right. We'll be right back.
And you're having trouble hearing us.
Listen anytime, anywhere. Just ask your smart device to play the Pulse of NH.
Hi, I'm Dennis Roberts Jr., owner of Hillsboro Ford and Hillsboro Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram right here in Hillsboro, New Hampshire.
They're going to know it's not me, and it's AI.
Nobody's going to know. Nobody's going to know.
I asked my sales team, let's move these rides. They said, sure, Boston took lunch outside. Now escapes and Rams are collecting dust. So I'm slashing prices because someone must. At Hillsboro Ford and Jeep Ram too. We're losing thousands just to help you. Top rated service, just check the reviews. We treat folks right and give them real value. So head to the hills, Hillsboro Ford and Jeep Ram in Hillsboro, New Hampshire, where the deals are real.
Great news. We made the trifecta. Crossroads Chiropractic was voted best chiropractor in the 603 and in the Lakes region and the capital area. I guess Crossroads is just the best all around. We're honored and so grateful to our community and our practice members who trust us to keep them healthy and active. Absolutely. It's a reflection of the care, results, and trust we strive for every day. People come to us for help with their neck pain, headaches, back pain, sciatica, infant colic, asthma, digestive problems, and more. To celebrate, we've got a new patient special, just $59 for a full consultation, exam, and it includes x-rays if they're necessary. If your body's been on the back burner while you're raising your family, this is your sign to take care of you. Come see us at Crossroads Chiropractic in Pembroke, Bedford, Meredith, and Epping. Call 603-575-9080 or visit us at crossroadschiropractic.com.
Improve your quality of life at Crossroads Chiropractic.
Voted best in the 603. Book your consultation at crossroadschiropractic.com.
Progressive's Auto Quote Explorer lets you easily compare direct rates from different insurance companies, so you can be confident you're getting the right one, even if it's not with Progressive. Way more confident than you were when you bought that TV in the parking lot. It just happened to not come in a box or include a remote. And when you finally managed to turn it on, all it displayed was the menu of Grumpy's Tacos. So use Progressive's Auto Quote Explorer and be confident you're getting insurance that's right for you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want to boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Turn things all the way up and find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy.
Coming up at noon, we talk tech with Kim Commando.
In the meantime, we're back to Mike and the Hoss on the pulse of New Hampshire.
Mike and the Hoss on the radio waves. Teachers by day, coaches making plays. Sports talking games of Wolf Borough Town. Husbands, father.
For those of you that don't know, Mike Trout hit a home run for Charlie on his birthday, so it's the special day, because that's probably the most meaningful home run that Mike Trout has ever hit. So I think it's important. Well, that's what happens when you play for a team and you don't want to challenge yourself.
Yeah.
You play in the, you're okay with finishing third or fourth in the division every year.
It hurts me so much that Mike Trout doesn't have an opportunity to be in the postseason. And
his choice.
I guess it is his choice, but it would be so nice for him to be able to, think about it when Shohei was there, and Shohei got the heck out of there. It'd be so nice for Mike Trout to be on a team that plays in October. But yeah, he's still my favorite player. Current, favorite active player, I should say. My favorite player, as you guys know, is
has he been in the playoffs at all? Has Mike Trout ever been in the playoffs?
Yeah, 2014. Yeah. Against the Royals. It didn't end well. I think it went 4 games, and he didn't do too well. It's like Ted Williams in the 1946 World Series.
So Mike Trout has played 4 days in October in his career.
Yeah. I mean, it's tough, for someone who, arguably is going to be going into the Hall of Fame. It's crazy. So, all right.
He was the best baseball player of the 2010s. He's getting.
Yeah, agreed. And I can't wait. And I think that might be a trip that Mike and the Hoss need to go to Cooperstown to see him inducted. He's going to want to see me. So
he might.
We'll leave it at that. All right. Hey, my opening take, I want to talk a little bit about, we've talked in the past about how hard and it is to get high school coaches in general, and how it's becoming just because of parents, because of players, because of think how society has changed. But I wanted to celebrate a specific coach. But before I do that, I wanted to talk a little bit about the longest active win streaks in high school team sports. It was the field hockey high school program down in Watertown, Mass. And they had 103 wins in a row. They lost on September 23rd, which obviously put an end to their streak. But you have teams out there from Arlington, Virginia, a softball team that's won 75 in a row. You've got a team in football. This is crazy. Garden City, New York. They've won 56 games in a row. There's a team in Ohio, a high school team. These are all public schools that have won 69 games in a row. That's pretty amazing. Pretty amazing that you can kind of have those win streaks and put them together. More locally for us, I know that the streak ended, but Prospect Mountain softball down in Alton, New Hampshire, they had a huge win streak as hockey coach. I know her streak just came to an end. Her name is Eileen Donahue. And I did a little research on Eileen Donahue. And she's been a head coach now. This is her 40th season with Watertown. She's won 22 state championships. She was already inducted into the Field Hockey Coaches Hall of Fame. She's approaching 800 wins, and there's only 2 other coaches ever to have more than 800 wins in coaching high school field hockey. So she's going to be in their company very soon. But check this out. she only has 35 losses in her entire career. And that's amazing. You know, Mike, your kiddo played field hockey. We've seen many field hockey games. But for someone to have that longevity, and then that success in a public school setting is pretty amazing. And she sent countless number of athletes to Division I schools to play field hockey. So her name is Eileen Donahue. She's just down the street in Watertown, Massachusetts. She's still going, and who knows if she's going to stop. And according to Eileen, she's having fun doing what she does. So if she has fun and success, I hope she continues to coach for another 15 years.
103 wins in a high school season. That's, roughly 5 years, 6 years of wins. Those aren't the same kids.
No.
High schools are 4 years. That's not you're not riding the backs of a couple players. You might be riding the backs of a couple families, but you're not riding the backs of a couple families. That is.
What I forgot to mention, which is probably the most important thing. So she was vying. This team, Watertown, was vying for the field hockey record, which was 124. Guess who has that record? Watertown. So between 2008 and 2017, they set the record of 124 wins in a row. This was Eileen Donahue leading this team. So she is accustomed to having 100-game win streaks or 100-plus win streaks. So that's absolutely amazing.
Charlie, that wasn't the most important part of this segment. The most important part is that New Hampshire Sports is brought to you by Bailey's Bubble.
Oh,
family owned and operated. I'm going to take over for you on this one. Family owned and operated Bailey's Bubble in downtown Wolfboro serves the finest ice cream in the state from May through October. If you can't make it to Wolfboro for ice cream, you can still order their hot fudge, panucci, and butterscotch sauces at baileysbubble.com. My favorite sauce, this would be Charlie's favorite sauce, but it's also my favorite sauce, is their homemade hot fudge. When placing your order, don't forget to tell them.
Well done.
Did you catch in the news this week the whole story with the Messinic High School and Hinsdale High School, that allegations happened of inappropriate comments that were made during a soccer game have led one of the districts. So the Messinic High School says we're not playing Hillsdale anymore because comments were made during a game, and not only are we not playing them the rest of the season, but we're not letting any of our teams play them this year. We are just banning the school completely. So comments were made apparently about one of the students, comment about a student who died of cancer over the summer. Now, to be clear, the school investigated it and they didn't find any kind of not proof, I guess that's the wrong word to say, but they didn't find that anybody corroborate this story. And so that becomes tough. And so I'm just kind of bringing it to light now is that I'm not blaming Messinic High School for saying this is very touchy, we're not playing them the rest of this season. It's the whole year is the one that I'm just wondering if that's the right direction to go. And I'm not throwing stones either way, because apparently it's obviously very sensitive, and being able to find out if it happened, or at least to identify the person that did it, makes me wonder too. What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I mean, I think my thoughts are obviously terrible situation. And the Messinic student passed away from cancer. That anyone would make any derogatory statements, not only about the student but specifically towards the family of that student, is just awful. I think not playing. I think I'm at Messinic and trying to figure out what's the best way to go about this. I mean, I think not playing soccer for the rest of the season, I mean, you only play probably 2 games, whatever,
right,
is fine. Or even if you took it to the level of we're not going to play in any fall sports against what is it, Hinsdale? Yeah, I'd be okay with that, but I don't know, kind of throwing a blanket statement out for the whole year. Yeah, I'm not so sure about that. But that being said, these are small schools. These are not very big schools. So these are kind of close, tight-knit communities. So maybe that is the right decision, because you're going to have an overlap. The kids that are playing soccer are also probably the kids that are playing, hockey or basketball, and you're going to have these smaller communities. So essentially, it is, even though it's a different sport, it's still the same athletes.
Good point. I would have liked to seen the and maybe maybe this decision was family based and the student based. They said we don't want to play them anymore. And maybe they should have said that rather than it sounds like it's the superintendent that made the decision. And maybe there was some input. They need to find out who said it. They need to find out, who the bad actor is in this, and make sure that they're the ones that ban and make the example out of them. And we see it all the time in schools, that the mask gets punished for a couple people's behaviors, and that's not necessarily the right thing either. But I'm not throwing stones again. I'm not throwing stones at anybody in this. If Masonic wants to ban for the rest of the year, then they should. Then they should. Does it take away the learning opportunity for the whole community, though, and the healing opportunity for the community by banning it completely?
Yeah, it may. And I think, I think Mike, as you know, we work in schools, and this is probably going to shake out. They're going to find out who the bad actor or actors were in the situation. And I hope once they do that, that's when the educational piece can come into play. It's crazy to think, like, we live this every day, but I mean, the people don't understand. I mean, I shouldn't say people don't. I don't make a blanket statement, but a lot of people don't understand, and especially young people don't understand the power of words. Baloney. The power of words is there, and then once something is said, people then pick up on that, and that's when you kind of create chaos in a system. And a situation like this, I think probably I don't know. Maybe the intent was, we're just going to make some stupid comment because I'm a stupid high school kid, and I just make comments because that's what I do, because my brain's not developed. But that being said, and then it kind of snowballs and turns into.
I'm rooting for the Messina community to heal, obviously, but I'm really rooting for them to find out who did this too.
Yeah.
And because I think that's going to be a huge part of that healing process, just to identify who this is. And I get why Messina would not want to take part in any sports if this kid or this person was possibly still going to be there. So I certainly get that part. So hopefully they can find out who it is. All right. Do we want to do a quick movie, this or that, before we go to break, Charlie? Because
why don't we let's do the this or that. I think that would be fun, and then we'll take our break.
So we did our favorite sports movies. Iconic sports movies, and we covered major sports. We were doing the major sports ones in the Overtime with Mike and the Hot Show, and we did a little bit with CJ last week with CJ, right? And so many people came to me and said, "Why don't you do the other sports? Why don't you do golf or tennis or whatever?" And I said, "Okay, all right, we'll pull this off." And so I did a little this or that for the non-major sports movies edition. Now I'm going to read you a couple movies, or 2 or 3 movies, in one case 4 movies, and you got to choose which one it is. Which one is the iconic movie in that? Now, we don't really have a lot of rules here, but if you want to add a movie in this, I'm forgetting something, then by all means do this. All right, golf, ready? So we had Tin Cup, or The Greatest Game, or Caddyshack. Dog, we're going to go start with you. Tin Cup, The Greatest Game, or Caddyshack?
Caddyshack.
Yes,
Charlie?
I'm going to go Caddyshack.
Caddyshack, iconic golf movie, doesn't get any better than Caddyshack. Tennis is a little bit harder to find movies about tennis that are not documentaries. I got 2. King Richard, which is a story about the Williams sisters, or 7 Days in Hell, which was a comedy that I think it was on HBO about the longest tennis match ever, 7 days. So King Richard or 7 Days in Hell. If you have another option, please come forth with that, but I couldn't find.
Wimbledon, that was. It was a romantic comedy with Paul Bettany and Kirsten.
Are you
Dunst.
going with
It came out in
Wimbledon? So we have a
2000.
third. Are you going with Wimbledon? All right.
I have to admit, I haven't seen 7 Days in Hell, and I think now I need to put that on my list. So I will. I've seen King Richard, so it'll be King Richard.
I'm King Richard. I think King Richard is a pretty good movie. Will Smith does a great
is.
job. Figure skating. The cutting edge or cutting edge
Yeah.
ice castles or blades of glory. Cutting edge ice castles or blades of glory. I'm a big Cutting Edge fan. I think Cutting Edge was a great movie, so I'm
I
going
am
to Cutting
all
Edge.
in on Blades of Glory. I've probably watched this multiple times. I love it. I love it. I love every second of it. So it's Blades of Glory.
Dog.
The Cutting Edge.
Cutting Edge, yeah. That's a good movie. All right, auto racing. We have a few more choices on auto racing. Days of Thunder. Right up your alley now, Charlie. Days of Thunder.
Yeah.
Ford versus Ferrari. Formula One. Cars or Talladega Nights.
I'll start. Can I start?
You're up
As
first,
a big
Charlie.
NASCAR fan that I am. I'm actually going to pick Cars. Cars was my son's favorite movie growing up. We saw Cars, 2, all that, and he dressed as Lightning McQueen, and it's meaningful to me. And I thought it was a fantastic movie. Cars for me.
Dog.
I have another one, by the way. Driven. Sylvester Stallone in 2001. Yeah.
Yep.
I'll go Days of Thunder.
Okay, a little Tom Cruise action. I'm going Talladega Nights because I think that auto racing is kind of comical anyway. So
Ricky
anything
Bobby.
that makes fun of it.
You put
Talladega
that on me, Ricky Bobby. Don't you do
All right, last one for boxing. Rocky 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. Raging Bull, $1 Million Baby, or The Fighter. I'm going to go first. I'm going Rocky 2 all day long. That is by far my favorite boxing movie and my favorite Rocky movie. Rocky 2, there is no second place. Anyway, all right,
So,
Charlie.
this is great. I mean, I thought $1 Million Baby was amazing. Raging Bull is
Very good
amazing.
movie.
But I am all in, Rocky 4. That's what I'm all about.
All right, dog.
Rocky, even though again Stallone has always said it's more of a love story. The boxing's kind of the allegory, but again, it's still a sports movie. Come on, he's training to fight Apollo Creed. It's still a boxing movie. Don't kid yourself. It's still a good love story too. Oh, Adrian, but Rocky.
You gotta be more specific. We're going the original. Rocky, the original. Awesome.
The
All
ones
right.
were sports movies. The first one was a love story. 2, 3, 4, 5, and Balboa were all sports movies. The Creed series, all sports movies.
Yeah, Rocky 2 all day long. Rocky 2. All right, that's gonna do it. We're gonna come back with some trivia. We'll be right back.
News, information, and discussion. This is 107.7 WTBL.
Hawks, New Hampshire, the Granite State's largest mental health awareness and suicide prevention event returns Sunday, October 5th. This free walk is family-friendly, dog-friendly, and most importantly, fun. For those unable to participate in person, don't worry. A virtual option is available. Registration is free, and there are no fundraising minimums. All funds raised from NAMI Walks New Hampshire stay right here in the Granite State and help NAMI New Hampshire continue to provide free education, support, and advocacy to over 50,000 families and individuals affected by mental illness and suicide. NAMI Walks New Hampshire, Sunday, October 5th, on the soccer fields at South Fruit Street, across from Memorial Field in Concord. Learn more at NAMIWalksNH.org.
NAMI New Hampshire is a grassroots organization working to improve the lives of all people affected by mental illness and suicide through support, education, and advocacy. Learn more at NAMIWalksNH.org.
No one knows your yard like you do. The curves, the corners, the way the grass grows thicker near the big shady maples. You've walked it, trimmed it, cared for every inch. So what if you took your lawn to the next level? What if you did it with a mower built for comfort, speed, and precision? Meet the Kubota Z400 from MB Tractor Equipment. The Z400 zero-turn mower offers professional-grade power designed for people who take pride in their land. With class-leading speed, effortless agility, a commercial-quality deck, and a deluxe high-back seat, Kubota brings comfort and control together in every mode. From smooth deck height adjustments to a cut that turns heads, the Z400 is a mower that makes your yard look as good as you know it should. Right now, bring home select Kubota equipment for 0 down 1.99% APR for 48 months or save up to $250. Now through September 30th. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer. MB Tractor Equipment. There's one near you.
Are you in need of a reliable and trustworthy auto repair shop? Look no further than Pembroke. Meet Brandon and Ryan, your expert mechanics who are dedicated to providing honest and reliable service to all their customers.
Hey, it's Ryan from Pellerin Motorsports. And I'm Brandon. You know, at Pellerin Motorsports, we believe in doing things the right way the first time. We're not going to try to sell you unnecessary repairs or try to upsell you on services you don't need. Your trust means everything to us.
That's right. We treat every vehicle like it's our own. No, we are committed to fixing your vehicle right the first time. We've got the knowledge and expertise to tackle any problem that comes our way.
And we also know how important your family safety is to you. That's why we go above and beyond to make sure your vehicle is reliable and safe.
Absolutely. And it's not just about the repairs. When you drive into Pellerin Motorsports, you become part of our automotive family.
So listen, if you're tired of being taken advantage of, come down to Pellerin Motorsports. We're waiting to take care of all your automotive needs.
Give us a call at 210-1637.
Get in touch with the show anytime at thepulseofnh.com and on the free to download Pulse of NH app. Now, back to Mike and the Haas on the Pulse of New Hampshire.
All right, get your phones ready. 603-228-2080. It is time for trivia, Charlie.
Today's trivia is sponsored by Lucas Roasting Company. Lucas Roasting Company, located on King Street in beautiful Back Bay, Wolfboro. They serve delicious coffee, tea, espresso, and lattes. Lucas Roasting was voted the best coffee in New Hampshire in 2020, 2022, 2023, 2024, and 2025. They even roast their own coffee inside their cafe. Lucas Roasting offers over 40 different single origins and blends of coffee. Lucas Roasting Company can handle personal and large business orders. Stop by their cafe on King Street in Wolfboro, or order online to have coffee shipped right to your door. The cafe is open Wednesday through Saturday, 7 to 3, or visit lucasroasting.com anytime. So you're going to get a chance to win an electronic gift card when you call in 603-228-2080. That's 603-228-2080. The Red Sox guys have the wild card, and they're heading into the playoffs. This question talks about the last wild card team. Who was the last wild card team to win the World Series? Who was the last wild card team to win the World Series? 603-228-2080. That's 603-228-2080 to win a Lucas Roasting Company gift card.
So it brings up the question. The Red Sox are in as a wild card, as you mentioned. Would you rather have the time off in baseball? Because if you win the division, if you were one of the top two teams, you get basically 4, 5, 6 days, 7 days off, roughly, depending on how long the other series goes, because the wild card series are best of 3, right?
Yeah.
So I want to say the division series starts on Friday. I believe they start on Friday.
Right, because the wild card starts Tuesday. Yeah.
Right. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and I think the division series starts Friday or Saturday. And in baseball, it's kind of a weird thing because you get rusty pretty easily in baseball. And we're starting to see wild card teams make the World Series, win the World Series, that there's a little bit momentum coming in, and you went through a series rather than sitting back. And there's really not a big difference between the wild card teams and the teams that win the division. Right. As we can see right now, the Red Sox, they're not going to win the division, but they're not going to be more than 3 or 4 games out when it's all said and done.
And they're going to have
Cleveland or Detroit's going to win the division, and the other team, if they make the playoffs, is probably not going to be more than a game out. So there's not a huge difference between these teams. So again, would you rather play up into the series, or would you rather have the rest?
And oftentimes, some of the wild card teams have a better record than the division winner. So,
you could say that right now, that the Red Sox are probably going to end with a better record than Cleveland or Detroit.
Yeah, exactly. So I would like to keep playing. This isn't football. Your body's not getting battered and crushed, during a game. This is baseball, and I would rather keep playing. No days off, keep going, and kind of staying in a rhythm. So I think it's great. They're going to have, they're going to finish the season on Sunday. They're going to have Monday off, and then they get right back into it. Now, devil's advocate would say, for the Red Sox, you have Roman Anthony, right? Roman Anthony, he's not going to be playing in the wild card, and he hasn't played in a while. So if you were able to maybe get the bye and get a few more days off. Could that be beneficial? Possibly. But, I think overall from a baseball perspective, just keep.
I'm leaning towards playing. Right now, I'm leaning towards playing. Anthony, I wonder how Anthony feels about playing, but Anthony has an answer for our trivia question. Anthony, what do you got?
Texas
You are right,
Rangers?
Anthony. The 2023 Texas Rangers beat another wild card team. They beat the Arizona Diamondbacks in 2023. So you are correct. You've won yourself a Lucas Roasting Company gift card. Anthony, are you a Red Sox fan?
No, I'm
Or
not.
Do you like baseball? And if so, who do you like?
I like baseball very much, and I'm a Yankee fan, and I'm waiting for the insults to come.
No, there's
No.
insults.
No one
We love all baseball fans, and that's great that you're passionate about the Yankees. And the Yankees have a chance to win the AL East. So best of luck, and we'll see. The Red Sox are either going to be going to New York or Toronto. So best of luck as the. All right.
Stay on the line.
Thanks,
So I can take your information.
Yeah, awesome.
So
Well, that's good.
I mean, I would rather play. I would rather play. And then you get your pitchers running. I mean, right now, Crochet, I would imagine is going to start on Tuesday. Obviously he's going to throw Tuesday. That first game, wherever it's going to be, either in Toronto or New York. Regardless, that's it. Those are the two choices, depending on what happens in the next couple days. Yeah, I mean, I think that it's right now the way that the playoffs are set up. I think it's better to play. I don't think it's a huge advantage to win the division like it was before. So that's where I'm at, especially because it's a 3-game series. It's not like you're getting spread out in a 7-game series. It's a quick 3-game. You're playing. That team that wins the wild card round is going in with a little momentum going into the division series.
I
So
agree. Yeah. The other thing, Mike, that just stand on the Red Sox for a second. We had mentioned before that they were on Apple TV and the Apple TV era ends. You had said off air that what happened up in Toronto with the Apple TV piece?
So I think it's the Sky Network that carries the Toronto games, but Toronto had a chance last night to clinch.
Yeah.
And they wanted their fans to be able to watch it. And so they negotiated a deal with Apple TV to get the rights to the game back, because Apple TV was carrying 15 games last night. It wasn't just one game. They carried 15 games last night, and so they negotiated a deal with Apple TV, the Sky Network, I think it's Sky, to get the rights to the game back, so they could. And I don't know what they paid. I have no idea what the details were of the deal, but yeah. I thought, congratulations to Toronto. That's an organization obviously that cares a little bit more about their fans, because you didn't see John Henry or Neston do anything like that. And we had talked off there, Lou Merlone, Tom Caron, the Nesson personalities were really coming at the whole situation last night, that it was the biggest night in 4 years for the Red Sox. And it was a great night, a walk-off and all that kind of stuff, and it still didn't happen. Before we go to break, let's do our poll question, because it has to do with baseball, and then we'll come back with football after the break. So, Doug, we didn't have a poll question last week, did we? All right, so we're going right into it. Rivalries. What is it, Doug?
Okay, it looks like the Red Sox and the Yankees are probably going to meet in the postseason again. They did this back in 2018. So, leads to the question, which rivalry means more to you? The Red Sox and the Yankees, the Patriots and the Jets, the Celtics and the Lakers, the Bruins, Canadiens. Which of those four means more to you? We're going to post that on the Pulse of NH on X, as well as Facebook, although it's actually not, it's going to be X only. It's too much on Facebook. It's going to, too much.
So we'll
just
too much for Facebook to handle.
Too much for Facebook to handle. That's right. I like it when you do the question, you box, you have that little, you pick a color or whatever for the box, essentially. If you put too much of those choices, it's just going to be a regular, it's not going to look good. So we're just going to do it on X only this week. So which rivalry means more to you on X at the Pulse of NH? Is it the Red Sox Yankees? Is it the Patriots Jets? Is it the Celtics Lakers? Or is it the Bruins Habs or Bruins Canadiens?
All right, we'll be right back with our picks for the NFL, and guess who's still in first place?
We'll be right back.
107.7 WTPL, the Pulse of New Hampshire.
Hi, it's Amanda with Proponi Automotive in Bow and Concord, New Hampshire. And I'm here today with Kate from the Concord Coalition to End Homelessness. Now, just based on the name, you all know that Kate is doing great work, but I wanted her to tell you something about what they have going on.
Absolutely. So the Concord Coalition to End Homelessness, we have our resource center at 238 North Main Street. It's a drop-in center for anyone who's experiencing housing issues to come in and get the help that they need. We have community partners that come in as well and provide their services, so mental health benefits and of course housing. We also have our emergency winter shelter, which runs through from December through March. That's a 40-bed adult male-female facility and low barrier, so anybody can come and use it. We really want to make sure that folks who are unhoused have a warm place to stay in the winter.
So how, if people wanted to help, how can they find you? What's your website?
We're at concordhomeless.org, and as a nonprofit, we rely heavily on volunteers.
All right, so concordhomeless.org. Thank you so much, Kate.
Thank you, Amanda.
Looking to buy new furniture? A new bed? Shop Cheney's Apple House Furniture in Pinnacook. Where else can you take advantage of low prices every day? Shopping local means you save time, gas, and money. Cheney's Apple House Furniture has the furniture you're looking for with living room, bedroom, kitchen, and dining room sets and much more. Like recliners and lift chairs with plenty to choose. Need a new bed? Cheney's is well stocked with Sealy and Tempur-Pedic mattresses in all sizes, comfort levels, and price ranges. Cheney's takes away the nonsense, noise, and pressure from your shopping experience. The Cheney's sales staff is non-commissioned. Take advantage of low prices every day. Shop local. Shop Cheney's Apple House Furniture, 191 Village Street in Pinnacook. Minutes off of 93 exit 17. Head west and follow the signs to Pinnacook or nhfurniturestore.com. Open every day.
Apple House Furniture, the best furniture store in town. Apple House Furniture, the best furniture store around.
It was in the Swiss mountains that George de Mestral, on a hike with his dog, became covered with cockleburrs. Fascinated by how hard they were to remove from his clothing and his dog's fur, he noticed a hook and loop configuration that made the plant so tenacious.
Seeing potential as a fastener, he began production in 1955, and 2 years later, they set up headquarters right here in the Queen City. And the name of that product? Velcro, which was a combination of the words velour and crochet.
And American Fences was there.
American Fences has been a McLaren-owned business since 1892. Doing something yourself can be a real challenge. That's why American Fences is with you every step of the way with the best fencing materials and over 130 years of experience to share. We'll even lend you the post hole digger. American Fences Incorporated on the Hooksett Road in Hooksett.
So, stick with the company you know.
And call American Fences Incorporated.
Online at AmericanFences.net.
You're listening to the Granite State's own Mike and the Haas on the Pulse of New Hampshire.
All right, we're gonna shut the music down a little quicker today because we're running out of time. And Joe from Ware has a comment about the Red Sox. Joe, what do you got?
Well, I think they have a good shot at maybe taking that first series, whoever they face. What's your shot on whether they're going to Toronto or New York?
I'll let Charlie go after. I'm pretty sure they're going to go to New York. I'm with Charlie. Charlie prefers Toronto, but I think that it's going to end up being New York. And I can't give you a reason why. I just think that it's most likely where they're going to lose.
Toronto has the tiebreaker, guys, because they beat the Yankees in the regular season. They have the better season record. So if this division's tied, Toronto gets it.
Yeah, and I think I think. Go ahead, Joe.
Oh no! Go ahead. I didn't mean to cut off the dog. He's the chief.
So no, my take is that I would prefer, as Mike said, I would prefer that they go to Toronto, just because I don't know. Obviously the Yankees. I'm concerned. I'm concerned about the Yankees, and if you have a 3-game series, it's a little too fast. So I'd like to get the Yankees in a longer series. So maybe going to Toronto and finding some success there. But obviously, either way, I'm all in on the Red Sox. Your thoughts, Joe?
Thank you.
All right, Joe. Thanks for calling.
Appreciate it. Yeah. All right. Go Red Sox.
Go Red Sox. We've got to get to our picks, as I had mentioned. Real quick, 1 minute on the Patriots. Have you seen a team give away a game like they did last week?
No. Five turnovers. Oh my gosh.
They basically outgained Pittsburgh 2-1.
Yeah.
And
possession,
the defense
same
played
thing.
well.
Yeah.
Time of possession, first downs, you name it. But the turnover battle wasn't even really a battle. They just kept giving them the ball. Does that make you worry more about the Patriots, or do you like, wow, they played? If you take away the turnovers, and I know it's hard to say that, but if you take away the turnovers, they're a pretty dominant team last week.
It was the Steelers. It's not like they weren't doing that against the Eagles.
Well,
or or even the Chiefs.
You mentioned the Steelers, and I'm going to say this real quickly, and I've trashed on Aaron Rodgers quite a bit, calling him the king of the douchebags. Is there a bigger douchebag in sports? When he played awful and the Patriots had a penalty and he was pointing to the first down, or that was the Patriots call, like he made a play, like he was responsible for the play, that, and he was just doing a victory lap that the Patriots had a penalty, so it extended the drive. What a douche. I just can't get over it. He's so.
How do you feel, Mike?
I can't take it anymore. Get him out of the league. All right. As I mentioned, I am 12-3. Charlie and Dog are tied at 11-4 for our picks. That means I get to go first because of the Eagles and at the Buccaneers. By the way, a lot of good games this week. It was hard to pull five. Eagles at the Buccaneers. I don't think the Eagles look really good. I think the Buccaneers are starting to roll a little bit. Buccaneers are 3-0. Eagles are 3-0. I'm going with the Buccaneers.
All right. Well, you do like Baker Mayfield. I know that.
I do.
That being said, I don't know. I can't root against the Eagles. I think the Eagles are going to be 4-0. Fly, Eagles, fly.
Dog.
It's going to be a hot one in Tampa. I'm taking the Bucs in an upset.
All right.
All right. Next game is the 3-0 Colts. Talking about a team coming out of nowhere. 3-0 Colts at the 2-1 Rams. Again, I'm in first place, so I get to go first. And I like what the Rams are doing this year. I think the Colts are there. I don't see them going 4-0 in any case, so I get the Rams.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to be, Mike, you didn't mention it, but travel is a real factor in this one.
Indiana's in the middle. That doesn't count. Indiana's in the middle.
Yeah, no, I'm going to take the Los Angeles Rams.
Dog?
LA, baby.
Okay, 2-1 Jaguars at the 3-0 49ers. Brock Purdy's back because he was getting a little heat from Mac Jones anyway. I've got I'm gonna go 49ers. They're gonna hold it home.
Yeah, Niners, baby, they're going 4-0.
Dog.
Niners.
All right. The 1-2 Ravens at the 1-2 Chiefs. Didn't think we'd be saying that one. Both teams have struggled at times. I think the Ravens have struggled less if you look at the teams that they've played. So I've got the Ravens. The Chiefs are going 1-3.
Yeah,
it's coming. Chiefs are 1-3.
If I could stand up right now, I'd be doing my Ray Lewis dance. I'm taking the Baltimore Ravens.
Dog.
I don't take the Ratbirds. Go Chiefs.
All right. And then in our last game, our Patriots game, the 1-2 Panthers at the 1-2 Patriots. Panthers beat Atlanta 30-0 last week. I don't know if that says something about the Panthers or says something about Atlanta, but I'm gonna go Patriots. I think the Patriots, the way they played, ignore the turnovers. The way they played, I think that they got.
I agree. The Patriots are going to be 2-2. They're going to beat the Panthers, and it'll be a good week for New England.
Dog.
It will not beat the Panthers. Carolina rolls tomorrow in Foxborough.
Wow. All right, so we got some differences. All right, that's pretty much going to. I got a minute left, Dog. How much more time do we have?
As soon as the music hits, which is probably going to be the next few seconds. So
okay,
just
so,
talk amongst yourselves.
If you want to catch our midweek podcast, Overtime with Mike and the Haas, you can get that on the Pulse Podcast Network. And thank you to the Heinz Group of Philadelphia and London for sponsoring our live stream on Facebook and
YouTube
on
Live, yeah.
YouTube.
Thank you.
All right, have a great week, everybody.